Oh, well, my name's Fox, and I'm Big and I'm Fox, and I just seen the latest episode, which I believe it was. I forgot the name was. It's the newest episode of The Flash, which I am recording these all for, when I'm gone. So, when I'm gone. But, anyways, I'm also going to do the other one, the episode before this episode, and also the Futures of Tomorrow's episodes that I've seen, or episode I've seen. So, check out those hopefully in the future, but. Since the newest episode came out today, and I'm going to upload this tomorrow, hopefully, I want to do this one now, but this was the newest episode where, if you haven't seen the last episode, spoiler alerts, or if you want to wait till a few days till my other review comes out for the episode before this one, go ahead and wait for that, but basically, short thing that happened, basically, short little thing that happened for the last episode, Barry kind of forgives Theobald Thawne, who killed his mother, kind of. What's more or less, he said that he's letting him go. He's letting go of the anger and everything. And in this episode, he doesn't have any hate towards Wells, even though, Wells has the face of the Wells that Theobald Thawne was hiding as. And this episode I extremely like. I love the writing in this show. I extremely do. Maybe because I'm not the greatest critic or greatest viewer of things like this. Maybe it's something not. But I like the writing in this show. I especially like it, and a few reasons why is one. You have, although I'm gonna say right now, Iris was annoying me in this episode. Okay, so basically, Harrison agrees that he's going to steal Barry's speed for Zoom and then give the speed force from Barry to Zoom. And he does this by creating a little, attachment that he adds to the suit without anyone knowing. And as Barry runs, it'll absorb his speed. Well, you see Harrison Wells, for one, fighting with this. First, he's like, I got to do this for my daughter. And then Barry comes in and says, I came in here because I wanted to help. Well, first he saw that his stepdad and Joe and Iris were having dinner with Wally, so he's like, oh, okay, I'll just talk to him later. He goes to the lab where he goes to, which also there might be a little thing where, Wally will say, he's not really, Joe's son or something, which I remember Joe's name now, which is probably one of the easiest names. If something that happens, okay, but Barry should know that he is Joe's son also. But which you kind of see through all last season. But what was I saying? Okay, so you have that going on. Barry says that he's going to help Harrison and try to find a way to close up the gap or the dimensional holes that lead to Earth 2. Harrison is saying, no, you can't do this because my world's a lot smarter than yours. You can't even barely figure out what to do. And Barry says, oh, no, I can. And he super reads. And apparently, his short-term, because he read so fast, his short-term memory, he's able to hold almost all that knowledge in short-term memory, which awesome ability. And he uses that to try to go with Wells, work with Wells and stuff like that. And as they're talking and stuff like that, Barry's saying, this kind of reminds me of back in the old days, when I used to work with Wells. Of course, not you. And, he's going in, talking, how Wells was his mentor and everything. And you see Harrison just getting angry and angry. He's just like, stop it. I'm not your father. I don't need another kid. I don't need this. Just go. And he gets angry and Barry's like, okay, fine. He leaves. And that bugs him a bit. You see as, Cisco talks to him. He's like, what's wrong? What's going on? He's like, oh, it's nothing. It's all right. It's alright. And basically talks to him about a new metahuman that's attacking people, which they cut to that in the beginning. But basically, these two guys drop another guy into a vat of tar when the reactor exploded, thus giving this guy tar abilities. And when they crack open the thing 2 years later, the tar guy reaches out and starts climbing out, where at one crime scene, a dude is fossilized by being filled with tar. And, oh yeah, I remember quickly. After Cisco, they first looked into that and oh, okay. Well, actually, no, yeah, that was afterward. But then, yeah, everything keeps on going. You have, and also, yeah, fudge. I am so sorry. Okay, I really should do these right after I watch them. But anyways, I'm sorry about that. But anyways, basically, they have to stop this tar guy who's going around killing people. And also, when this tar guy first kills his first victim, he talks about how he felt when he got thrown into the tar, which was, he goes into excruciating detail saying, I felt my eye, I felt my ears, I felt the tar bleed in my ears, I felt my eyes begin to boil. But that wasn't the worst part. The worst part was me trying to breathe and feeling the hot tar going down my throat. That was the worst part. I'm going like, holy fudge, this imagery he's talking about is graphic. Just like what he's talking about, like, holy fudge, that's effed up. And honestly, yeah, and also apparently that's not even where it ended, his torture ended, because then the next day they took that tar and I guess they painted it over the ground, so he was stuck underground for 2 years until they busted it open to where he got out. So one, yeah, he's gonna kill. Yeah, I could see him having anger issues because he got killed. But it's not only that; it's because he was stuck, and he says that he was stuck in the dark. He couldn't feel anything or see anything for 2 years. This guy, of course, is gonna come out a little insane for being 2 years in solitary confinement, not being able to touch, see, or do anything or move. Yeah, you're gonna come out a little nutty. Well, I like that was pretty cool. And while that's going on, we have Iris, Joe, and Wally talking. Iris then, of course, everything's coming out nice, and Iris says, "You should stop racing because you're bad and you could die." Okay, of course, and I understand like where she's coming from, since like she's scared and she doesn't want anything bad to happen to Wally. I understand that. But I also I know her dad's trying to work his way into, becoming someone that Wally can trust and everything. And like in the end it's kind of like I'm not your friend. I'm not your friend, Wally. I'm your father. Joe says to Wally, which he's like, yeah. But like I'm just thinking like, okay, yeah, that's okay. One, I do understand, like, you have the relationship and everything. Technically, you didn't raise him yet, but I do understand, like, you want to connect with your biological son. Yes, I understand that, but also understand like all the crap that he's been going through. And also, Wally says that he keeps on racing. Why is he racing? Which I forgot if the mother died in the last episode, but apparently the mother's dead. And Iris is asking, why are you still racing? Why are you still racing even though there are no more medical bills? And Wally says, oh, never mind. I need to answer you guys. Of course, Joe's saying for Iris to stop and try to be not as, holy crud. Stop trying to, it felt kind of like pushing away, which honestly I'm like, yeah, work your way in. Don't just say like, oh, you should do this, this, and this, even though we haven't seen each other for 20 years or something, or 18 years. Oh, you should do this, this, and that. I'm like, no. First, work your way in. Allow him to trust you first before you start giving him freaking advice. Though Iris takes this ahead of more, where she starts looking into street racing. She takes a picture of this one guy who's leading the street races, who's also one of the guys who killed the tar dude, and also is the target. While this is going on, Cisco created a Tinder for metahumans. Not like a Tinder, but basically, if anyone ever sees anything meta-human, they can send it to this app, and then this app will then transfer it to anyone who has it, which then goes to Cisco, as Cisco says, hey, Flash, you need to go, and Barry will then zoom. So, Barry runs, basically, the street racer guy, he's getting attacked by the tar guy. Barry gets sent there, and while he's running, he has a little charger thing on his chest that starts absorbing his speed. Barry fights the tar guy off, and they take the guy who runs the car thing's like, oh, okay, forgot really what happened to him. I think they asked for answers. They took him to ask for answers, but they didn't get nothing out of him. Also, Iris is now looking into like all these things, trying to scare Wally a bit into not racing anymore. But like, oh, people could die. People died once, like from flying out the front window, going this miles, bending over a tree, going this speed, and everything. This could be you. He also says that to her father, saying, "You, this is not the dad I know. This is someone else entirely. You have to be his dad." And again, he tried that in the last episode, and Wally didn't like it and kind of went away from it, kind of split a little further away. But now, how he at least says it at the end of this episode, where he at least says like, "Oh, family has to stick together" and stuff like that. Okay, that's at least nice. That's at least nice, saying like we're the only things that we have. Okay, that's a nice little thing. That is nice, but yeah, just like saying like, "Oh, you should do this because I'm your father." No, that's gonna separate him even further. But anyways, what was it before? After that, as the episodes progress, you see Harrison fighting, like, oh my god, like you see him fighting stuff like that, like, man, I should do this and stuff, and I shouldn't be doing, like, absorbing the Flash's speed. And also Barry and Wells actually create a bomb that can close breaches, which I love because Barry does that. He's like, oh my gosh, we closed it, yeah, and he hugs Harrison. Harrison's just like, Harrison's just like, he's like, yeah. And Barry's like, come on, man, you got to feel something. He's like, okay, yeah, that was kind of cool. Which I like. I like Harrison kind of slowly opening up to Barry. And also, because he says at one point, like, he says, I don't need another kid. That I kind of like, because Harrison is basically saying that he kind of sees Barry as a son. Also, another thing that I like, he also starts talking to Barry, saying, no matter what happens, I will always do it for I'll always do whatever I can for my daughter. If I have to betray you, I will. And he basically straight up tells Barry he will betray him, that he will betray him to save his daughter. He straight up tells him, which I love. And also I love how they don't drag this plot line out a bit, like the entire season or something like that. But as the episode progresses, they start noticing that Barry's speed is a little bit slower. And actually, wait. Before that happens, when they're driving back after they close the breach with the bomb, and Wells seemed like he was about to tell Barry about the little thing in his chest, the little switch that's taking Flash's speed, but he then gets a call that the Tar Man's going to attack the guy who killed him, who also Iris was making a report about, saying that she's going to put it on the newspaper about the illegal rings and about him, about his backstory and everything. That way, I guess cops can see him and know who this guy is. And he also threatened Iris also. And she's basically doing this so she can try to stop the racing. That way, if Wally won't stop himself, she'll stop it for him. And also, Wells, I'm sorry, I'm trying to summarize a lot of this, but Wells absorbed 2% of Barry's speed and gave that to Zoom, where he zoomed did it, and you saw him like speed up, and you see like it kind of looked like there was kind of like how when Neo moves in the Matrix, when you're not seeing from his point of view, or the agents move, where you see the after image here and then you see like that. I think that might actually be the Speed Force allowing him probably to tap into other universes or dimensions, or like he's able to move fast enough to go between them. But anyways, so that happens. That happened earlier, and basically then at this race, the Tar Man comes. He's about to kill the guy who's the owner. It was either the owner of the races. No, wait, was it? I forgot if he was the owner of races or he was a racer himself. No, he was a racer himself, if I remember correctly. No. Yeah, he was the owner of the races, and the guy was messing with the Tar guy. Messed with the tracks and started like shifting the cars around. Which one? I don't know why he went after Wally, because he straight up wanted to kill Wally for some reason. I'm like, why are you doing that? Why are you trying to try to kill this kid who has nothing to do with you? But whatever. Wally's car flips over on a Tar wave, because it's a wave. Barry runs in, grabs Wally, car smashes, and glass and stuff starts falling. Barry runs towards Iris because all the shrapnel's flying towards Iris. He's knocking it all away. And then when he was right there about to hit one piece of glass, he was about to hit it, but he was too slow. Thing hits Iris. Iris falls down. He picks up Iris and runs to the hospital with Iris. And after that, back at the we cut to the hospital where Iris and Joe are there. Iris is like hurt, but she's fine. Wally comes in saying he's sorry for everything he's done, and they say, we don't blame you for any of this. We don't blame you at all, but just know that we're family and we're staying together, and I'm not your friend, I'm your father. I'm like, well, you can still be... The thing about that, I don't know. The whole thing about I'm not your friend, I'm your father, like, is that supposed to be that you're supposed to respect them? Mind you, this might seem like a little bit of an a-hole thing of me to say, but I'm like, with me, just me myself, I'm just like, well, you can still like see your father as a friend, not really, actually no, let me rephrase that, not really as a friend, but like the way that I see, like whenever they say father, like, you're supposed to listen to me, you're supposed to do that, I'm like, well, one, and mind you, I might just seem like an a-hole kid or a spoiled kid. Mind you, I am spoiled, but I try not to show it, or try not to do, and I'll try to act spoiled, but one thing I like, the whole thing is like, you're supposed to listen to your father, listen to your parents, and like, okay, but if they tell you to do something dumb, or like, you do dumb or something like that, you kind of say no, and by dumb, I mean like, or something that you were like, no, I'm not going to do that, or something, like, if they tell you to, I don't know, kill a spider, you're like, I don't want to kill it, and they say, do it, I'm like, yeah, I'm not going to do that, no, but, I don't know, it's just, I don't know, a little buggy thing I had, but anyways, maybe it just makes me seem more like an a-hole, but, yeah, he's like, but he says, I'm not your friend, I'm your father, and, well, he's like, oh, okay, and I'm just like, but Wally does want to be part of the family, I guess, so I guess he's sucking it up, I guess you could say. But then Joe gets a call from Barry. He says, oh, crap, Barry's calling me. And Wally says, don't worry, go. I'll stay here with Iris. And he's like, oh, okay. And, oh, great. And Joe leaves. Wally also says that Iris is his sister and that he's father, so he's accepting this family thing. Joe runs back, and at the Star Labs, they start talking about Flash's Flash. Barry saying, "I'm too slow. I'm slower now. I don't know how, but I'm a little slower now." And Cisco says, "Yeah, you had been looking slower. You had been acting slower and stuff like that." And he's like, "Do you think it's a suit?" No. Barry says, "Do you think it's a suit?" And he's like, "No, it's not the suit." And Harrison says, "No, it's not the suit. It's not the suit." And he's like, oh, "Okay." And Iris saying that, Iris saying, "Well, we can do some tests and stuff like that. It could be the suit or stuff like that." And while this is all happening, and they say, well, maybe it has something to do with Speed Force. Maybe Zoom somehow maybe the fight with Zoom, which happened weeks ago, damaged his Speed Force or something. They don't know. And they ask Wells, and Wells like, I don't know. And you just see him like, you see the conflict in Wells, just like, oh my gosh, what am I going to do? What am I doing? And finally, Wells just says, and he said, I don't know what's happening. And he's like, I do. He gets up. He's like, what do you mean? He walks up to the Flash suit, takes off the shield, and shows him the thing. This is the device I created to steal the Flash's speed. And I took some of the Flash's speed and gave it to Zoom. And like, what? And Joe walked in on this. And my freaking lord, I love Joe. And also, mind you, Harrison, while he's saying this, he is going like this. He is going, I'm not going to fight you. If you have to punch me, you have to punch me. I'm not doing anything. And Barry gets angry. He's like, I trusted you. I started trusting you. What the? And he gets angry. Joe, as soon as he hears this, walks in and starts beating the living crap out of Wells, picks him up, and throws him into the metahuman cell. And Joe's like, why'd you throw him in there? Because I would have killed him if I didn't. And also, I forgot to mention that they found a way to stop the Tar Man, which was a bomb, which they then use, which then they use. Oh wait, before that happens, Harrison's. Oh no, that's afterward. But they use these bombs, nitroglycerin, I believe, to nitroglycerin to freeze the Tarman, using the one guy as bait. The guy who killed him throws the thing, freezes the Tarman, and he explodes instead of the Tar guy, and they throw him into a cell. Also, bing, bada, boom. The main villains, the villains of the episode is like, yeah, we have a villain, but that's not really where the main focus is. The main focus is on these drama, which I love. I just love these things that's going on. And we cut back to Wells and everything, and Wally says, Barry says, I trusted you, and when I started saying you remind me of Wells, now you remind me too much of Wells, or the bad Wells. And Harrison says, fine, you know what, it doesn't matter, I'll give you, I'll tell you what, I'm not going to ask you to let me go, I'm going to ask you to send me back to Earth 2 and close up all the holes. You know not how, and like, what, why? He's like, Zoom is my problem, it doesn't matter anymore. It's my problem, it doesn't matter anymore. You guys can go on living your lives, just let me deal with Zoom, it's my fight. And he says, just go and try to think it over. They leave and they start talking, and Joe's ready to send him back, and Barry's like, no, we're not going to do that. We can't condemn an entire world to death. And also, mind you, Barry, they show that Flash's Speed Force can be held into like this kind of injector thing, which I have a theory on how Wally's going to get his abilities, if you haven't guessed yet. But so then Barry goes back up to him. He says, I'm not mad at you. And Barry defends Wells, saying, what would happen, like, what happened when, he tells, like, Cisco, like, what happened with Snark when Snark held your family hostage, Cisco? And you helped him. We didn't say anything bad. We don't hold that against you. Or you, Joe, if anything bad happened to Iris, I wouldn't hold it against you. He's just doing this for his daughter, and we can't hold that against them. Really, I think the only reason why, I think one of the bigger reasons why it was so bad was because it was Harrison Wells who did it. Because his name right now has kind of gone downhill with this team. But yeah. And I extremely do like this new Harrison Wells. I like Earth 2 Harrison Wells because he's angry. He's not like the other Harrison where he's more calm. Where he's just like, where he's just the calm guy. This Harrison Wells gets angry. This Harrison Wells is snarky. This Harrison Wells is an a-hole, and I just love him. He's freaking awesome. I probably like this Harrison Wells more than I like Earth 1. Oh, Theodore Thawne Harrison. Yeah. I really do like this one, and they cut back later on, and Barry says, we're not going to send you back. And Harrison's like, what? Why? He's like, because I can't condemn an entire world to be destroyed by Zoom. So we're going to go with you to Earth 2 to stop him. And that's the end of the episode. And I'm like, awesome, because one, I want to see them go to Earth 2, because in Earth 2 we have Oliver Queen's dead, which is not the thing I really like about that. It's that his father is alive, and his father is the Green Arrow. We're going to see, and also we kind of see Earth 2 Barry, who kind of looks like a geek or like a librarian in the other world. Not too bad, but that kind of blows up a little theory that I thought that Zoom may have been Barry. Also, I forgot to mention another thing, but so they're going to go to Earth 2. I also forgot to mention that Wally starts talking to Iris, saying like why he kept racing, and it's because his mom and him had no money. So what they used to do every once in a while, they couldn't go to movies, so what they used to do is just drive have a nice drive, put music on, and just drive. Which honestly, me and my brother drive around every once in a while too, and I do like it. It's pretty fun. And he says like just seeing those things flashing by. He says whenever he drives, he feels like he's reliving those days again. And also he's saying that he loves speed, saying that he loves moving fast. He wanted to become an astronaut just so he can move faster, the fastest you can go. He loves speed. And if spoiler alerts for anyone who doesn't know, that Wally West becomes the new Flash before the new 52. Now he's, I think, Kid Flash again. So yeah, and also kind of have a theory on how he might get the Flash speed. But yeah, it's pretty. I like the episode. It was pretty fun. I want to see what's gonna happen next. I love Harry, and I hope that when Earth 2, if they do take care of Zoom, that they don't close off Earth 2. That it's still gonna be open and connected. Hopefully by the Star Labs portal one. That way Harry can come back and forth through the portal whenever they can. That way he can always help out. Not to mention you'll have the Green Arrow. You'll hopefully have Oliver Queen meet his father, who is now the Green Arrow in Earth 2. That way that would be an awesome, cool thing to see. Not to mention heroes coming from back and forth. You probably have Bombshell versions of like the Bombshell, Catwoman, and everyone coming. Well, not Catwoman, but like Wonder Woman, all that appearing also, since it kind of looks like it takes place in a 1950-ish era. But yeah, it was a pretty cool episode. Tell me what you guys thought in the comments below. What do you guys think? Do you like the series? Do you not? I don't know. I love it. But either way, thank you so much for watching. I like this one, especially compared to like. Also, a cool joke that I love is at one point Cisco hacks in his one. He's like, "Who's the best hacker ever?" And they go, "Felicity Smoke." He's just like, "Man, you guys are friends." And that was I just thought that was pretty funny. But I do like you have Green Arrow, which is basically Batman. He's the darker stories, the darker tone and everything. And then you gotta have the Flash, where it's a little bit lighter. You do have darker things, but it's still lighter. And also, like I said, I love the writing in this because in other stories, you'll have Harrison put that tracker on the Flash and leave it there till like the Flash is super weak or something, or you'll have it spread. Yeah, you'll have it spread out between a few days, but you'll have it spread out between a few days or something, or a few episodes. But Harrison quickly goes, "No, this is wrong. I shouldn't be doing this." And I love that. I love that he does it before that, and now they all can get together and figure out a way to stop Zoom. Not to mention that thing could probably stop the abilities. Also, apparently that thing absorbing the Speed Force also hurts Barry's cells, to where he can't absorb, some of his cells can't absorb it anymore. Though, mind you, it said his speed got lower because of the less Speed Force. But I'm wondering if he'll be able to regain that speed, and if he'll be able to gain more Speed Force as he runs. If any comic book fans out there, please tell me in the comments below. But either way, thank you so much for watching. Tell me what you guys thought of it. Thank you so much for watching, and we will. It is a freaking awesome show, and we will. And I love the writing. I love the drama. I love everything that's happening, and I definitely want to see more. And I love Joe's reactions, whether it be the first time he sees Harrison, where he pulls out a gun right the freaking way. He didn't let Harrison say one freaking word, which I love about Joe. Like, I love about these things. Okay, I'm not going to end this episode just yet, which is going to be like around 30 minutes for fudge me, but I love how this episode is, or the show is, you see these characters get angry. You see these characters almost kill, which I love. They don't reach that point. They don't kill, but you see them almost reach her, which I love. Joe's almost killed Harrison twice now. The first, or Earth 2 Harry, twice now. He's shot at him 5 freaking times, trying to make sure he's dead, and then this time he beats the living crap out of him and then throws him into a cell because he knows he would kill him. Which I just love. I just love like the reaction where they get freaking angry, but of course they try to figure it out as they go along, but they still get angry at it, which I love. But either way, I do love the writing for this show. It's pretty good. But either way, thank you everyone for watching. Please check out all my videos, and we will see you later.